It's definitely the biggest, most ambitious quest that we have done.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's kind of expanding on, like, we're kind of leaning into the term war, and we're trying to like use it as a way to kind of world build the universe of Warframe a bit more and kind of expand on
Indeed.
The impacts of it.
This quote from D.E. Jeff, a great name by the way, was one I only picked up on after I rewatched the Tenno Live segment, but it perfectly encapsulates what I see the new war quest doing for the world of Warframe. As many of you will know, I have spoken about my hopes for the new war in prior videos, in which I prayed to Ballast that DE deliver it in a way that respects the world that they have built. I've wanted the Grineer and the Corpus to react to the sentience. This is their galaxy too, and it would make zero sense if it was just another quest mission for the Tenno, and the Corpus and Grineer just remain static and absent from the quest, and then just go back to being the same after the quest. And on this front, Digital Extremes absolutely did not disappoint. They've absolutely gone to town. In the 30 plus minutes that we got to see, we witnessed a Grineer Lancer, Cal, a Corpus Tech, Viso, and Teshin all fighting back against the initial onslaught of the sentience. This is a galaxy-wide war, not just the Tenno's war. I have no doubt that after the introductory parts of the quest we'll of course pick up with our Warframe and lead the charge against Nata and Era. However, this opening segment is absolute gold for the world building, and creates a real solid foundation for the rest of the quest. By having the Grineer and Corpus perspectives right from the beginning, the war immediately feels as massive and as galaxy spanning as it should. We can see the whole galaxy is affected and impacted by the war. They are not just frozen in place while we do all the heavy lifting, and then everything goes back to normal. This makes it feel real and respects the universe that they've built. Of course the Grineer Empire would not welcome the sentience. They are Grineer. The Grineer Empire dominates most of the system, so it would also be impossible for the sentients not to come in contact with the Grineer. This is their territory that's been invaded ultimately, so it was awesome seeing Vehek taking command of the invasion and coordinating Grineer efforts against the sentients. This is not just another standard video game quest, it is a representation of what would happen if the Warframe universe was real, and everyone in it would have to react to this alien invasion. It respects the universe that has been developed over the past 8 years, and I am absolutely thrilled by this. This is all aside from my joy, by the way, as being able to play as non-Tenno characters for a change, especially a Grineer, as I do love my Grineer. Yet the world building opportunities go far beyond this. In past videos I've spoken about how Vala Galarius and the Call of the Tempestari humanised the Corpus to a degree, as it showed her to be a regular human, who had witnessed real trauma, as well as a quest which enriched our view as a whole of the Corpus culture, giving them more detail rather than them just being generic Corpus bad guys. The new war has shown us that this is only the beginning. Taking control of our enemies and seeing the world from their perspective is a dream come true. In general, to many the Grineer seem like an evil, xenophobic force that has a stranglehold on the system, and of course that is correct. Yet in the new war reveal, who would argue that Cal was not a hero amongst his own people? He bravely defied the sentients, fighting them in hand-to-hand combat even, to save a brother of his, a pilot. We even see the sadness when he realises that his efforts were in vain, as his brother is already dead. Many may also assume the Grineer to be stupid, yet in his own way Cal was very shrewd. He snuck when he needed to. He was the one that came up with the plan to blow up the sentients. And were we not all moved by his willingness to lay down his life, not just for the Empire, but in his words, for his brothers? This is an extraordinary insight into a regular Grineer soldier that we've never really had before. They are just enemies who shout Tenno scum at us as we slaughter thousands of them. Yet Cal is an individual of this Empire, just one of these little enemies, and he's got so much depth and character to him that humanises the Grineer to a far greater degree than anything we have seen so far. This is a massive opportunity for us who love the lore. To see how Grineer talk when they aren't calling you Tenno scum. Hearing Vehek speak to a Lancer with respect was a completely new side to him that we've never seen before. Cal's reverence for his brothers and Vehek's respect to this Lancer shows the strength of the brotherhood that exists within the Empire and amongst the clones. Personally, this has always been something that I've wanted to see, and it just adds further depth and complexity to this faction. Likewise with the Corpus, we saw less of Viso's role than we did of Cal's, but it gave us a great insight into the massive power and prestige that the directors of the Corpus enjoy. Alad V treats Viso with a level of disinterest barely even remembering to get his name right. Yet Viso heaps title upon title and praise upon Alad V as some kind of formalised introduction. Again, a relationship we haven't seen a huge amount of insight into, a director and just a regular Corpus crewman. It also shows us the unquestioning authority that the directors enjoyed. It is clear that Alad V is up to something, and Viso suspects as much, but he cannot help but follow the director's commands. This was all just in 30 minutes. Imagine what the rest of the quest will show us. The Tennocon 2021 roundup on the Warframe website describes the new war as follows. War has arrived. The Sentients fire the opening barrage in a conflict that will reach every corner of the system. Will longtime enemies in the Origin systems unite to take on Ballas, Era and the Sentient threat? Or will fragile alliances buckle under the burden of repelling full-scale invasion? This again hints at something that I and others have wanted for a long time, a grand alliance against the Sentients. Yes, the Corpus, Grineer and Tenno hate each other, but it makes perfect sense that we would unite against a common and powerful enemy that would destroy all of us and render our conflicts pretty meaningless. The alliance would be real fertile ground for further world building. How will the Grineer behave when we are working together? Will they bring their military tactics to the table? How will the Grineer and Corpus pool their different strengths and weaknesses together? How will they interact with one another when they're off duty? The new war represents a great moment for us, for those who love the lore. We finally get expanded and detailed lore on the individuals who make up the Corpus and Grineer factions, what motivates them, their tactics, their camaraderie, and their cultures, and this will all be ours to command from their perspective, playing as our enemies, and seeing them at this closer level will only deepen the lore of the world. The factions, the Corpus and Grineer are still my favourite aspects of the game, and to have them kind of deep dive into the individuals that make up these factions is a great opportunity and something I'm very, very excited for. So thanks guys, that is my take on why the new war is world building gold. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and possibly subscribe, as I do Warframe content, mainly focusing on the lore, but I do other things like guides and whatnot. But until next time guys, I will see you on the front lines of the new war. Take care.